Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. We're back on the truck tonight. We got a lot of work to do in a short period of time. A week from today, it's supposed to be a piece and grease for a show. So yeah, we got a little ways to go, but still hopeful. We'll see what happens. But let's get on getting the bag mounts tacked in. I did a little bit of work on them over there on the bench. I'll show you what I did. But we're getting ready to tack them in, and then we can start planning our C-notch and get to getting the C-notch in it, and then we can hook up airlines so we can put airbags in it and air ride stuff and on and on and on. Yes, and that doesn't even account for the front end stuff yet. So yes, there's a lot to do. I'm not going to sleep much the next week, but it'll be worth it. So let me show you what we're going to get started on, and let's get bag mounts. The only thing I didn't film that I didn't show you was that little notch in the side, and I added these beams in the center just to help stiffen those plates up a little more. But I'll take one of these over there and show you why I had to cut these notches. I think I explained it a little bit in the last video, but I'll show you what they look like on the truck now. So they're now here in the spots where I really wanted them. They're nice and tight to that bracket there for the 4-link bars. And I'll get you under here and show you. I had to do that notch, so where are we at? There we are. So you could get that the bolt in and out for that 4-link bar. So I put those little notches in them, and there's plenty of room between those to get that bolt out. So we had to do that little modification to them. But both sides are sitting there ready to go. So let's get them leveled up. Let's get them tacked in the truck so that we can start measuring for our elevations to see how much of a little, little notch guy we're going to have to put in this. And then we're going to be cutting with that piece of metal over there, make some templates, and see if we can get a notch tacked on it tonight. We got some of these mounts burn in on both sides. They're both kind of there. So this side too. I'm not gonna weld them all the way, especially up here on this edge up here, just because it's got them bushings in there. And I'm gonna have the axle back out to paint it and clean it up and all that. And the link bars are coming back off so that those can be finish welded by my buddy. It's gonna TIG weld them for me. So all that stuff's going to come back out, so there's no need to try to get into some crazy places or screw up my bushings. So we'll wait till the axle's out to finish welding all the rest of that stuff. But now comes the fun part, because now we get to determine how much of a notch we're going to put in this thing. So the truck axle is sitting at ride height right now. So that's where it's at. Now, I don't know, I need to take the measurement and figure out what I have there right now. But we need 4.5 for the bag mount, or for the airbag. And then we need another 7 to be able to drop that bumper clear to the ground. So at minimum, we need that. Well, here's what I come up with. At least this is my first rendering of thoughts. So from this point here to that point there is 13 inches. And that gives me good clearance from this side of the bag to this side of the bag. That's a 12-inch bag, so that gives me a 1/2 inch on each side of clearance. But obviously, these get further away or further down to give the notch effect. So these are the 6 inches, and they would come up through here, 6 inches wide, that is. Those are the pieces that are, I don't know, that guy that's laying right over there. So I'm going to cut this out and go over and set it next to the truck and see what we think and decide whether this is what we want to go with or if we want to try something different. So let's cut it out and see. There it is. Well, let's carry it over here and see what it looks like by the truck and see if we're on the right track or not. I slightly freaked out for a second because I brought this dude over here and set it on top, and I thought, that is one heck of a notch, but it doesn't go there. My measurements are from down here. So that looks better. That doesn't look near as bad. Still going to be a heck of a notch though, but we need to decide if that's enough or not, or if we like the shape. What do you guys think? Should we go a little more, a little less, a little more angle? I don't know. I think that'll probably work. What do you guys think? Well, I think this is going to work. I did take the 6.5 inches off each end, which is what the frame thickness was. So this is what's going to lay on top. And I did cut these, so those can be my templates that I can put down on that rectangle stock over there, and I can cut these out and then burn them together real good, and we should have a notch. I also traced it, so I do have another one that I can just go over and use to mock up and look at stuff, and just because I got this one in pieces now. Well, here's what we got. There's a middle piece, there's a middle piece, there's a back piece, front and a front. So I didn't have much left, so hopefully I only got to do this once. But I'm going to use my 6-inch grinder with a thin disc instead of the plasma. Just make a nicer cut and a straighter cut. Yeah, I wish I had a big bandsaw. It'd make it nice to cut these, but my little one is not going to cut these. So, well, let's cut them, get them tacked up, and see what they look like. Oh, here's one sitting here together. I went on ahead and V'd out all my welds just so we can get real good penetration in those. But I'm going to tack this one together and take it over there and set it on the truck, and we'll see what we got. Well, there you have it. 2 notches sitting there. It's going to definitely put a hump in the back of the truck, that's for sure. But I think those will work. I just got them tacked together so far. I'm still trying to decide exactly if I want to, trim a little more off the bottom of these down here or not. I made them a little long just so I knew for sure they would fit good. I didn't want to make them too short and be in trouble. So I could trim a 1/2 inch off each one and lower stuff down a little bit, which I may do just to keep stuff a little more condensed. But hey, progress. But it's 1 o'clock. I'm going to go inside. Got a whole day tomorrow, Saturday, to work on this. Well, it's Saturday. We're out here in the shop. We got these notches built last night. They, I think, are going to work out good. So now we need to make sure they're where they need to be. So time to do a lot of measuring and a lot of checking and a lot of leveling and a lot of all of that to make sure they look right and they're where they're supposed to be. And I'm probably going to end up trimming this piece out because the frame actually started to droop down here, and I don't want the notch attached to something that's not what the original frame was. And all this is going to be plated back in, so it'll be nice and strong. And I think I'm going to put just a plate around this on the inside, but just so it wraps down to the frame. I'm not going to run it along the frame on the inside, just to help tie everything in good. So that's the plan. As soon as we get this notch done, then we can cut the frame piece out and go on and set a bag in there and get the top bag mount welded in. And we're well on our way to having this thing going up and down on airbags. So that's the plan by the end of the day today, is I'd like to see it go up and down, even if that means just hooking some air hose to it and shooting some air to it. I would love to see it do that. So we got everything welded up. But I'm now making a template for the plate that's going to go over the side of this to make everything look smooth. So after some arts and crafts, thank you to my art teacher for that, everything fits good. So we'll transfer these over to the metal sitting over there on the sawhorses and get them cut out and see if the welder will survive burning all those in. At least this is the driver's side. We still got to do the passenger side, but want to try to get the bags in this thing tonight before I quit. We got this side on. It's all burnt in. It's a lot of welding to do top and bottom of that plate. But that one's in. I'm going to cut this front and this back little piece later because I want to try to get this thing laying on the ground tonight. So with the bags. So I'm going to cut this guy out on the other side and get it welded in. And then we can do a little cutty there. Get rid of that frame piece in between and stick some bags in there and see this thing go up and down tonight. Okay, you guys ready for this? I don't know if I'm ready for this or not. Oh my gosh. There's no frame in there anymore. Well, here we go. Frame rail number 2. Oh my goodness. What have we done? Exciting stuff. All right, let's get some bags in there. Here we go. We got the air hose hooked up. Pretty cool. It works. So that's a good sign. We're out here in the barn another evening. It's Sunday evening. Want to give a shout out to my mom. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Love you. We just got back from spending time with her over at the house, playing some games and having some food and laughing, so that was a good time. And happy Mother's Day, which this will be late for all you mothers. I don't know if there's any mothers that watch this, but if there are, happy Mother's Day. And if there's not, then all you guys, you had mothers, so happy Mother's Day to your moms. So anyways, well, we got more to do to get back on this thing. Got a lot to do before this thing will be ready to go for this weekend, so better not waste any time, better get to it. Well, I'm sorry guys, but I got in a work mood and I didn't video a whole lot, but I got those patches welded on each side of the frame, and I'm starting to work on the gooseneck. I got these angle iron pieces I'm gonna burn into that top piece there, and then I'm gonna burn those in like real good, and that will allow me to be able to take these bars off. Actually, I'm getting ready to cut them off now because I got that stuff in there. So sorry, I know I didn't video what I did with that, but it's kind of time crunch time, and it's just easier to show you guys updates opposed to moving the camera around all the time. So, but I'll set it up, do some time lapse now so you can watch me weld again, I guess. But we'll go on ahead and get these bars cut off of here because they don't need to be there anymore. Well, here it is without any bars on it. Everything's burnt in real nice and heavy on everything. At least on this side. Looks pretty good. I may put just a little piece in here just to give that little extra support. I overkill everything instead of underkill it, but I'll show you this side over here too. I ran out of weld wire again. If that tells you guys how much welding I'm doing. You know I ran out, in I think it was, I don't know if it was this video or last one, but we're out again. So I guess that means that we got to quit for the night then, because I don't have any more weld wire to continue. But we are down to finish welding that gooseneck hitch in. I have shocks coming tomorrow that I'm going to have to make brackets that'll go from here and they'll come up here to the frame. Got those coming, and then I have to, that plate will fold back down again, but I need to bring my plates on back again. I think I'm going to stop them here and it's going to come up and over. So this will be plated in. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do it right now, but I'd love to cut an SBC logo into the front and the back of that. I think that would look really cool. Maybe backlight it with some lights or something. But then obviously this plate's going to come to here and up and over the top, and yeah. So definitely have some work to do still. And I got these side plates to do on both sides as well. One there on each side. But once all of that is done, the fab work for the most part in the back is going to be finished. I did talk to Ernie from AccuAir today, and I think I'm going to put my ride control sensors here and let the arm come down against the 4-link bar. He showed me some pictures, a lot of guys that do that, so I'm probably going to do the same thing, at least for the back. I don't know what I'm going to do on the front yet, but I don't even know if we're going to get the front done in this video. I don't know. It may go to piece and grease with just rear bags on it, but everything's still over here. I still got it, but definitely some serious progress. I'm very happy. The notch came out real good. I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with the gooseneck hitch. It looks a little tall, but I'm trying to think. A lot of pickup trucks are, I remember I had to drop the neck on the gooseneck to get it on here, so I may have to raise it a little bit now, but oh well. It'll still pull a gooseneck though. Mark my words, even though it's on bags and 4-linked, it'll still pull a gooseneck. So, well, it's probably close to midnight. I don't even know. But I probably better go inside because I can't do much else without weld wire. So, well, getting a late start, but we have shocks, we have weld wire, and we have a truck that needs finished. So, we better get started because we still have a lot to do. We need to get some shocks mounted on it tonight, and then I can start blowing some of this stuff back apart and have these bars finished welded. And I got some more welding to do on the gooseneck because we didn't get it done because we ran out of wire last night. And the shock mounts I talked about, the plate there on both sides, the plate that goes there on both sides, and I'm gonna put another plate in here on the frame just to cover this, to gusset this stuff in as well. So there'll be 4 of those to do, and then get the axle off of the truck, finish welding some stuff on it, and clean up a bunch of this stuff so it's ready to be painted. and a lot more. So we'll get started and see what we can get done this evening. Well, sorry guys, I didn't video much last night when I was out here. I did get the shock brackets on both sides, and these tops are going to end up somewhere in there, actually where that little dot is, if you can see it. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do to mount those so they're nice and strong, because the shocks are going to take some abuse. Yeah, we're getting ready to roll this axle out from under here, and yes, there's no 4-link bars. They are off-bitting welded. So I'm trying to finish up all the fab work today, and yeah, there's still a decent amount to do, but I have the day off work today, so I'm going to take advantage of it and see if we can get a bunch of this knocked out and maybe get everything in primer today. At least that's my plan. So link bars and everything will be back this evening, so get them painted as well, and just continue forward, because we got a show to get to this weekend and the truck is nowhere near ready. We got the axle off from under the truck. Wasn't graceful, but it's out. So I got everything marked out over here. I got templates that I made for everything. Everything is marked out. Even got some more stuff over here. These are the rest of the plates that I need to finish everything. So it's that plate on both sides, this plate on both sides, and then we're also going to plate this piece here just to help strengthen everything. I overkill everything. And then there's also plates that cover that there. So there's 2 plates in the front, 2 plates in the back, 2 plates back here, 2 plates there. So got a lot of cutting, a lot of welding to do to get that finished up. But at that point, one thing I left to do is figure out what I'm gonna do for my top shock mount here. And at that point, all the fab work is done as far as metal cutting. And the only thing left to do, I think, on the frame is to burn the bottom side of these brackets in on both sides. And I think that's it for fab work on the frame. And then we have to do some more welding on the axle here. It was hard to get into some places, like, you know, trying to weld the inside of these and with the link bars in it and stuff. So we got some more welding to do on the axle too to get it done. And then we're going to take it outside with the tractor, probably put the loader on it and the pallet forks, and take it outside and power wash it and clean it real good so we can get some paint on it, and hopefully get some paint on all this tonight too, and get everything in primer along with the link bars. Like I said, they'll be back later this evening, and with everything in paint at that point, we can start looking at these deck plates. That's something else I guess I need to do. That is a little bit of fab work, but it's not a lot of welding. It's just mostly because they all come off with these rivet nuts. So I just need to figure out what I'm going to do over the back here. I don't know if my hand's steady enough to cut it. I may have a friend with a plasma table do it, but the plate that goes across this front here and across the back, I was thinking about having the SPC logo cut in it. That way it'd be backlit with lights. I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't know if I have time to do that at this exact minute, but I don't know. I have the whole day off today and got a few more days to get finished up, so we'll see what happens. Well, this truck's gonna have miles of weld wire on it by the time it's done, but anyways, all right, so I've got these little guys I made. I drilled a 5/8 hole clear through them and burnt the back side of the bolt in, and these are gonna mount right there. These are gonna be my shock mounts, so my upper shock mounts. So it's actually a big piece of rebar that I don't know where I got it from, but I got it from somewhere. But that's the plan. I'm gonna put these guys up here like this, one on each side, and those will be my top shock mounts. So can get them guys on there, and then we got to get back into burning the plates on this other side so that stuff's done. I mean, I've been looking at some air system stuff. That's what my little board's up there for. I think I'm gonna mount the compressors on a plate right there, and we got to get the air tank mounted. It's gonna mount somewhere up in there, at least my secondary air tank, because I have two of them. We have this secondary tank that I purchased for more volume, but this is the primary tank, and this one's going to go on top of the bed. Then there's the compressors and yeah, I got a mess. But anyways, well, let's get back on this, and better keep plugging away or it's never going to get done. Well, the axle's all finished welded up, and we got our bars back from Steve, the neighbor. He got them all burned in real nice and good for us. Appreciate you, Steve, for doing that. So I think everything is ready for paint now. The rear end, the bars, the notch, the frame, all that stuff. So yeah, I think that's going to be tomorrow's project, is power washing the axle and then getting primer on everything, and primer dries pretty quick, so hopefully we can get some paint on some stuff too. And I've been putting it off, but so I didn't want to overwhelm myself too much, but I got the whole AccuAir system here. It looks like a lot, it looks very complicated, but I've been texting with Ernie from AccuAir, and it's not. There's a lot of stuff that the compressors come with that you don't use. There's even stuff with this kit that it comes with you don't use, but this is the main brain of the whole system, and the short version is this plug here goes to the controller. This plug here is the main plug, which is this harness here, and I could show you. It's just a few wires. It's really not that hard. So it's like power and ignition and ground, and there's even some of the wires that aren't even used. And there's a pressure switch that's right there that goes in the tank as well, that ties into that main harness. And then this plug here is for this, which this goes to all of the ride control sensors, which is all just plug and play. And then this is the one that confused me, but got it all figured out now, because you got this little pigtail, and it's like, well, where does all that go? Well, it connects to, well, I got wires everywhere, these two pigtails here, and those pigtails go into each end of the tank. One goes here, and one goes in the other end of the tank. And those are what tell the valves that are in here, what to do. So basically all the wires here are just color-coded, and you just color-code those wires to these wires, and you plug it in. Ernie said that they do that just so you can, a lot of people mount these systems in different places, and the tanks and everything and all that. So, but, and then there was fuses and relays and all kinds of stuff in here for the compressors, and Ernie said, throw all that away. All you need is this. That's all I need. So this is their harness that has their 70 amp fuse in it, and you run one of them to the battery, and you run the other one to this side of the relay, and you also run the hot all the time for the main relay into that same one, and then off this side you just run your 2 off for the compressors. So I don't really like wiring, to be honest, but it's pretty straightforward to me. And then, we just hook in our power and grounds to there. And I got a bunch of air fittings today too, to get all the bags and everything hooked up. Got plugs for this tank. So basically we're going to mount the 2 compressors kind of on that plate I showed you there earlier. And one of them is going to come to this tank right here with this T. So that end right there will go into there. And then the compressor obviously connects to the one. And then this line comes out and will go into one of the 2 ports in the main tank to fill. And the other compressor will run straight to this tank. So I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it, but that's how I'm going to do it, just because you can't really change how these are and where I want to mount my compressors. It just works out that way. So, but even this is a little, it's a little air dryer that I don't need either, because there's drains and stuff in this tank that you use. So there's a lot of stuff I didn't really know what to do with, and we got it all sorted out now. So even this pressure sensor comes with the compressors. Don't need that, because the pressure sensor they have allows you to be able to set the pressure to 150, 175, or 200. So you can set all that. Like all these relays and this fuse thing, like, don't need it. So once I got figured out what I needed for everything, it wasn't bad. So, well, we better call our quits for the night. It's midnight, but we only got 2 nights left to see this thing roll out that door on air ride. So it's going to be a long couple days. Well, it's crunch time. We got a lot to do and not a whole lot of time to do it. So the plan is to get this axle cleaned up tonight, get all the frame and everything cleaned up tonight, and have everything painted so that everything is ready to go back together tomorrow. So, and in between that, I need to be working on putting the air system stuff in. And I still got to make my trophy for the piece and grease show. I forgot about that until I seen Tim posting some pictures today of other trophies. So I better get with it. I got a lot I need to do between today and tomorrow. So let's get to washing this thing up and get it cleaned up nice, get all the oil and stuff off, so we can get some paint to stick to it. Got some Jack's Wax Super Citrus. I don't know if it's made to do this, but it does cut grease off this stuff pretty good. So don't forget to go to jackswax.com, SBC15, get you 15% off. Sorry, got the painting, and didn't really video a whole lot, but we definitely have some paint on some stuff. And look who showed up again.
Hey friends.
We got Brandon back again. Everything's starting to come together, and he's been killing it over here on the frame. Everything's black, so that's a good sign. Including the floor, but whatever, don't sweat the small stuff. The axle's in here too. It's ready to go into black here in a little bit once the primer dries on it. So it's coming along. If we can get everything finished painted tonight, I think we can make our deadline. So it's looking good. Well, it's definitely starting to look like a truck. Link bars are on, axle's all in. I got shocks to mount here in a second. Watts links in, brake line's on. I just got to hook the brake line up to there. I think it'll all still work. All my wiring worked out fine, didn't have to lengthen anything. So we're about ready to set this thing on the ground so we can get the shocks on it and get the bags in it. Well, the seat just got here, and let me tell you what, I am very impressed. It is going to look very nice in the truck. What do you think, Ace? Think it'll be good? Here's the guy behind the seat. If anybody wants to know, get a hold of him. He does awesome work. And there's proof of it. Well, nobody finished it overnight. I went about 3 o'clock this morning. I've been so dead tired, been working late on this thing every night. So I will be at Peace and Grease. This is Friday. I know this video probably should be going up today too, but I don't know that it'll be up today. I just had a lot going on. So we do have mud flaps to still get put on here, which I did something dumb and I didn't retain the springs when I took them off, and I've tried and I don't know how I'm going to get the springs stretched back out in those. So I don't know. That's a dilemma I have to figure out. We did get the air tank, one of the air tanks mounted. The auxiliary is there. The primary is there, I guess. The secondary is there. The compressors are mounted in there. You can see them. Have some of the plumbing done. Got one plate on the back, so there's a positive. These are freaking sweet. I can't wait to show you these guys. Seth Gibson, a friend of mine, cut these out. Those are awesome. Those are actually going to go back here on this part of the notch right across there, and I'm gonna backlight them and all kinds of stuff. They're gonna be sweet. So got the wheels and tires put back on, got a plate to cut for the top, got wiring to finish for the AccuAir system, got the ride control sensors to mount, program the whole, I got a lot to do, guys. So I will be at Peace and Grease. I hope to be down there later today, but man, there's a lot of work left to do. So I better get to it and see if we can get this thing roadworthy today. Well, here's what we got down here. Give you guys a little bit of a look-see of what's going on down here. So this is that secondary air tank. We have the first compressor teeing in here, and then I still have a line that's going to come out of here and run to the back of that tank up there to tie the two together. Let's go under here. I can show you guys some of the wiring nightmare that we've been dealing with. It's really not that bad as far as a nightmare. It's just a lot. So this is all the main power coming in for the compressors. They go into this solenoid. The solenoid then feeds the pumps. There's a signal wire. The yellow comes from the AccuAir. The red one powers the AccuAir. This is all the wiring for the ride sensors for the front, but obviously I don't have the front done yet, so they're going to just hang there for the minute. This wire hanging here, that's the ride sensor. It's going to go to the bag back there on this side somewhere. I can't see, it's in an air tank. But over here, this orange wire is a signal wire, or it's a ignition hot wire, so that's got to go to the cab. And this other wire is for the controller. So those still got to be run to the front. But there's the compressors. They're happy tucked in under here. I think they're pretty much done. And then this is the last ride control sensor that's going to the driver's side rear bag. So I'm going to go on and run the air lines so that they can be zip tied up with the signal wires to run to the back. So I'm probably going to work on that next. And then I need to get the wiring in the cab so that we have that done. And they mount ride control sensors and about a million other things before we can get to Peace and Grease. And it's 10:30. So got a lot to do still. I know I haven't filmed hardly anything at all. We had to get work done. And here it is. Finished product. Got some sweet stuff cut in. I'm going to have Chad Bowling do some pinstriping on that panel and accent the SBC, and we're going to backlight it with lights here eventually. If it's on the ground, that's what we wanted. The front is not, but the back is. And there was a lot of work involved in getting that done. But you can even see the Watts linking through the SBC, which is pretty cool. So hope you guys like it. Stage 1, we'll have the back or the front done here hopefully later this week. Piece and Grease 24, most unique award we gave away. It's a 54 GMC bus. This is Josh. I'll let him tell you about it just a little bit.
How you doing? It's a 54 GMC Superior. It's a subframe with a 96 Dodge 3500 cabin chassis, so it's two-wheel drive, but it's tube axle.
Yeah.
5-speed MV 4500 with a Dana 80. We purpose built it for hot rod power tour. My dad's 6'8". He wanted something he could be comfortable in, and that's what we built.
Heck yeah, and it's got AC and stuff in it too.
It does. It's kind of it's a house unit that we run on generator, but it works good.
Yeah.
And it's a road trip machine. It averages about 20 miles per gallon. Everything's 96 Dodge, so we've had to replace ball joints at O'Reilly's in Indiana on the side of the road. So
typical Dodge front end, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's been to all these places. It's right here on the side, which is pretty cool. This thing is no trailer queen.
Nope.
And I'll show you guys inside a little bit. It's pretty nice inside. It's got seats and everything in it. It's a pretty cool setup.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the coffee, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate.
Yep.
And
hopefully catch you another one.
Yeah, we'll catch you another one. See you. Well, we're back from the Piece and Grease show. Truck's main voyage down there. I literally finished it at 3 o'clock in the morning and built a trophy, and then ended up going down there straight from here. Like, I literally pulled it out of the garage or out of the barn and drove it an hour and a half down to Tim and Jen's place. Did great, had no problems. Rides like a pillow. It's pretty awesome. So, but I think somebody broke in here while I was gone, because this place is a freaking mess. My goodness, there's trash and crap everywhere. I think somebody was in here, because I don't think I would have messed this place up this bad. Okay, maybe it was me. Sitting here in the camper, Memorial Day weekend, out here camping, enjoying our time out here. Haven't had time to do this edit for you guys, so I'm doing it here in the campground. Getting it knocked out for you. Thank you for all you that have served and people that have passed for serving for our country and stuff. Appreciate all you guys. But that's going to do it for this video. Appreciate you guys watching. God bless. We'll see you on the next one.